2, 3. Just introduce yourself.
Hey, so my name is Marcos Lujano. I'm currently 26 years old. My story is, I actually came from the country of Mexico. My parents, they brought me here when I was about like 4 or 5 years old. That I remember. I'm from the state of Guadalajara, Jalisco. And yes, I've been here all my life. I grew up here in California and LA. And growing up, I had young parents. My mother had me at the age of 15. My father was 16, so they were very young parents. And then when I was born, a year later, my mom had another child, which is my little brother, Arnold. And then growing up, with young parents, coming to the States, for a better future, and then just growing up, I landed here in LA, right, in this little town called Lomita, maybe like 20 minutes from here. And my father was he was a construction worker, and then he was doing his best to raise us, as a young parent, and as a 16, 17-year-old, like trying to raise 2 sons, very, very young. Like the first years, of my childhood was good, and then about the age of 8, my father got into some conflicts at work, and he passed away. He passed away at a very young age. Our first years here in the States were good, to my when I turned 8, it was when he passed away. And everything was good at first, like he was all happy. And then the moment that he passed away, it was where my life really started. Like I grew up too fast at a young age. And then it was there where my mother, she didn't have no work experience. She was a widow. She was very young. So it was very hard for the family. And then just growing up, it was different from regular, like lifestyles, regular families. And and then it was there where we moved to my mom's brother's house, and then it was just different. It wasn't easy, like cause my mom's brother, he had his own family, so like we used to sleep in the living room, and it was just very tough. And then growing up, going to school, like I was like a little traumatized, honestly, I grew up with a lot of fear, in my life, and then eventually there was like family problems, so eventually we had to move out. We had to move out, and then that's where we moved to the city of Bellflower. That's where my grandma lives. And we moved there, and then I got enrolled in school here. I went to Claire Williams. It's in the city of Lakewood. I went there. I got there like around like 3rd grade, so 6th. So I graduated from Claire Williams, and then eventually I went to a middle school called Mayfair, and then just growing up, it was a different challenge, I went to Mayfair, but like this high school was a middle school and a high school, so it was together. So I was there in the middle school and high school. I graduated Mayfair High School. Growing up, from middle school to high school, it was very tough. Honestly, it was. Eventually, my mother, she got a job. She was working for us. Trying to do like her best to take care of us. And and that's when I got involved in sports. I became an athlete. The sport that I got involved with was soccer. It was there in middle school where I joined my first soccer team, and then I was there, playing soccer, and then after high school, I promoted from high school. I went to my next level, and then I went a freshman. And as a freshman, I tried out for the soccer team, and it's crazy. I made it to varsity as my freshman year. I didn't believe it, but I think what it was is that growing up with no father, like I will find like my love in a passion, and then I fell in love with soccer, and then like that was like my father figure. Like it sounds kind of weird, but like that was something that like I invested my life into. Since like being kind of like an orphan. Like didn't have that father figure, that leadership. So I fell in love with soccer. I gave it all. I did my 4 years in varsity, right there in Mayfair, and then eventually, I graduated high school. I did. It wasn't easy though, but I graduated, and but like during high school, like I went through like a lot of trials and tribulations, a lot of things, growing up. It was like it was crazy because my foot was halfway in school and halfway in the streets. In school, honestly, like I was doing good. I had all right grades. Because if you're involved in sport in high school, you have to maintain a GPA. So like I always liked school, growing up, but then I also had my other side of my life where in school I was a certain way, and then the moment I would walk out those gates, I was a whole different person. I started to get involved in certain groups, and then I got involved in crews. I started tagging at a young age. I was out there in the streets, and then eventually I started drinking and smoking weed, and it was there where that dark door opened in my life, where I let the enemy come into my life, and growing up, like I was partying, drinking, all that high school stuff, and then there was my other side where I really wanted to succeed, and eventually go to college and play sport, and I was living two lives, like two lives, and like it was at first it was fun, but then eventually it got tiring. But yeah, it was there where like those couple years, I was out there in the streets, just like doing no good, just tagging in walls, just running amok in the streets, and then eventually my brother also got involved with me because of my actions, and we're both like in the same crew, and it was there after high school where I started working. I graduated. I was fresh out of high school. I got this urge, to start making money, and I also, so after high school, I didn't play soccer as much no more. Like I lost my interest because like I'm fresh out of high school. I want to make money. I want to start buying like my things. So then I started working for my uncle's company, and then I was there for a couple of years, working. But like eventually, like my love for my sport just started to fade away. I started to get involved in the morning world, I guess you could say that. And then it was there where I opened another door, like where I started to drink a lot. I wasn't responsible with my money. I wasn't responsible. I started doing drugs. I started to like do like the next level of drugs. I was doing coke. At a point. Eventually like I started doing meth. Man, and then that's where that second door opened. Of living in the dark. And then eventually, just like my life started changing. Like my attitude was just different. Like it wasn't like the same as when I was in high school. Like so energized and in love with the passion of succeeding. Like I started just to kind of just flow. With what the world had offered me, and it was there where I got a lot. I fell into the fast life. Of just wanting to make money. But then, like at the same time, like I wasn't responsible because like I fell into drugs, and then about the age of 19, I saved up money for like a whole year. I saved up money, and then I went to the state of Denver with one of my best friends at that time, and then I went to Denver, like trying to change my life, like I don't want to keep drinking no more and smoking, but so I went out to Colorado. And then I was living with my friend. I was there for a season with them, I was doing good at first, you know, and then eventually, you know, like I started making more money, and then like I started to miss California. So then I came back, you know, just like thinking like that I was changed, thinking that I was different. But the moment that I left Denver and came back, it was where like it was just like coming back to my vomit, you know. Like I started going back to drinking. I started going back to my old friendships, you know, and once again, you know, like I got involved again in drugs, you know, and alcohol and all that stuff, you know, and then so you know, and then like later on, you know, like a couple years later, I got in a relationship with somebody, and I was with that person for almost 2 years, you know, and then you know, like, and then like the first months, you know, it was cool, you know, but you know, like, and then I remember when I got with that person, I told her that like that I was gonna stop drinking and that I was gonna change, you know, like, and that I wasn't gonna go back. But once again, for the third time, you know, like I was doing good, and then eventually, like, I fell into alcohol again, into drugs, and then eventually, like, my relationship got toxic, you know, and then you know, like, and then that's when she left me, and then man, you know, like, and then it was there where once again, you know, like I opened this other door, and then I fell into crystal meth. I started doing that drug for a minute, you know, and then that's where like my life just fell. Yeah, it just felt like I started falling bad, you know, like I lost my interest in life, you know, like I was getting jobs, just temporary jobs, you know, like I wasn't like stable with my jobs, and then it was one day, it was about almost like, I think it was about like it's been like, it was in 2020. I was like really going through a lot, you know, just like a lot of problems in my life, a lot of like lies of the enemy. And then it was on Instagram. I was on Instagram, and then I remember one of my friends that he's already saved. He goes to the Church of Freedom, and he hit me up. I remember like he would always like hit me up, and he would always try to invite me to church a lot, you know. But I was like, oh hey, what's up, bro? How you doing? You know. Like, but I would always ignore him, you know. Like, it's crazy because he would always hit me up. He would tell me, hey bro, you know, like come to my live groups every Thursdays, you know. Hey bro, you know, come to service Sundays, you know. But I would always ignore him, you know. And then just one day, you know, just you know, God just, you know, like he gave me like this spark in my mind. You know what, Marcos? It's time for you to change. It's time for you to leave this lifestyle behind. You know, like there's more for you. And like it was crazy because when God was telling me all this, I was high, I was drunk, I was just lost, I was depressed, I was suicidal. And then, you know, it was this one time where I just replied to him, you know, like I went on my DMs, and I opened his message, and like it was crazy because like he would blow me up. He had me like he would blow me up, and I was like, man, you know, like what's up with this guy, you know? And then eventually, you know, like I clicked on it. I replied back to him. I was like, hey bro, how you doing? And then it was there where, you know, like I started to like just to like vent to him, you know, and tell him like, you know, like how I really feel, and you know, and then after that he started to pour into me, you know. But like, you know, and then you know, like this friend, you know, it was a friend where like I grew up with him. You know, like when I was in high school, I mean, I'm sorry, I met him when I was in elementary school, and then we grew up together. You know, like all my life, you know. But he had to give his life to Jesus when he was 18, so he left that group, you know, for God, you know. And then it was till like that day where, you know, I hit him up, you know, and then that's where he invited me, and then I told him, you know, bro, like I'm going through this, you know, like I need help. And then he was, you know what, bro, come to my live groups. And then eventually I went, you know, I went to his live group, and then it was there at the live group where like I told him, you know what, bro, like I'm just tired of being tired, you know, like I want to change right now. Like I don't have a spot to stay at, you know, like I'm kind of homeless. I'm just going to like friends' houses and just jumping around. And then he was like, bro, you know, and then that's when he told me, all right, Marcos, if you really want to change, you know, like you have to surrender to God, you know. And then, but like if you really want it, you know, like you could stay here in my house, you know? And I was like, man. So then that's when I decided to stay, you know? And then I was living at his house for like about 3-4 months. I came out to God. I was serving God for about 3-4-5 months, and then you know, once again, you know, like the urge of, like, it was like a, I don't know if it was a withdrawal or something, but like 4-5 months later, as I was already saved, you know, like I went back to drinking again, you know, like I backslid. I went back to my city, and then I started drinking again. I started smoking again, you know, like slowly, you know. Like first it was drinking, you know, and then after that it came marijuana again, you know, and then slowly, you know, it just started drifting to crystal meth again. And then it was there where once again I fell, you know, and then my friend, like, you know, like he was trying to look for me, you know, like, hey man, like, where you at, bro? Come back, bro. You know, this is your house, bro. You know, and then, like, you know, like he was, you know, like as a brother, you know, he was trying to encourage me to come back. But then I left, you know, I left his church, you know, like my home. And then, you know, like it's crazy because it's in the Bible where it says that when you walk away from, when you already know God and you walk away from God, it's gonna be 7 times worse. And then I left, you know, like I left God, you know, and then I went back to the world, and then I started drinking again. And but like this time it was different though. Like it wasn't the same no more. Like this time, like I really lost everything. Like I lost my dignity, you know, like I lost everything. Like my family, my mom, she don't want to talk to me no more. You know, like I started to get in fights with my uncles, you know, with my brother and all that, you know. And then it's crazy because during like my process, you know, like in my life, so my little brother, he was already homeless for about like 5 years, you know. And then yeah, you know, it's a crazy story, you know, but my brother was already homeless for a while. And then I think what it was that in my mind, like I was so focused about my brother like being out in the streets, so there was like a force that it would like bring me back to my old ways, you know. And then it's crazy because this last time that I was drunk and lost and just hopeless, like I was just so broken, you know, like I just like didn't care no more about life, you know. Like I knew God already, but like I was so stuck in this like trap, you know. And then one day I was at a park here in my city, and then like I was just drunk, you know. And then in my backpack I had a Bible, this little Bible, you know. And then I remember you know, like I got the Bible, I opened it, and then it landed in Job, the story about Job, you know, where, you know. And then I remember for a whole week, every day when I was out there in the streets, for a whole week, every day I would read a chapter from Job every day. And eventually I actually finished Job, like in that whole week, just being homeless, you know, all that. And then one day I was sitting down, just reading the book of Job, and then out of nowhere, you know, like my brother, he pulls up in his bike, and then he lets me know about, well he approached me, and then he told me, hey bro, like what are you doing, bro? You know, you don't belong here, bro. Like, you know, like come on, bro, you know, like you gotta wake up, bro. You know, like it's crazy because, you know, like my brother was already, you know, homeless, you know, for a while, you know, and then for him just to like come and then tell me about, you know, that this is not right, you know, like that you gotta wake up, you know, like, you know, if you continue like this route, you know, like you're gonna like end up like me, you know. And then like it was just right there where you know, like God used him as an instrument, as a tool to reach me. And that's where like I started just to reflect, you know, just everything, you know what, like what the heck am I doing, you know, like I don't belong here, you know what. And then so in that moment, you know, God started to just give me visions, you know, like He said, Marcos, like, you're the older brother, you have to set a better example, you know, like your brother is here, you know, like hurting, you know, but I'm gonna use him to reach you to wake up from that nightmare. And it was there where God used my little brother to evangelize to me. And then he told me about Victory Outreach. He said, hey bro, honestly bro, you know, it's time for you to change, bro, you know. And then he told me that, look bro, there's a recovery home here in our city, you know, like, you know, it's free of charge, it's free food, you know, a free bed, bro, like they don't charge you, bro, you know, like, you know, just go there for a season, bro, you know, get cleaned up, you know, and you know, just, you know, it's time for you to change. And then, like, man, you know, like my mom was just tripping, you know. It was crazy, you know, how God used him as a vessel. So eventually, you know, like a couple of days later, like I woke up this one morning, and I was, you know what, bro, I think it's for me to change, you know, like, so, you know, like, I think, you know, it's time, you know. So then it was there where like it was a Monday, and then I was like, look bro, can you take me, bro, and drop me off? He said, yeah, for sure, you know. So then I remember like that morning he walked me to the recovery home. And then, you know, so I got there, and then I was like, wow, bro, like, it's crazy because the recovery home where it was located at, it used to be a friend's house. Like, when I was in middle school, there was a friend, and she lived there, and she had her first house party in that home, and it was my first party, you know, growing up. And then it's crazy how, like, later on, like in the future, it became a recovery home, and then, like, it's just crazy. So then so as I'm walking in there, you know, I was like, man, you know, like, this is a recovery home, you know. And then it was there where, you know, and then I went in there, I met the director. There was this other brother there too, and I was like, hey, you know, is this a recovery home? He said, yeah. Are you good? I was like, honestly, I'm not good, you know, like, right now, I'm homeless. I don't have a place to stay at. Like, I struggle with alcohol and drug abuse, but I want to change, you know, my life. You know, like, I'm just tired of being tired. So then it was right there, you know, where my director and then this other brother. It was brother Ray, man. You know, he they brought me in. You know, they searched me and everything, and then that's when they prayed me in. And then it was in that moment where they were praying me in, and I just felt like this energy, you know, like it was kind of like goosebumps, you know, like. And then it was there where, like, I just closed my eyes and I just let God in my life, and I just surrendered to Him, you know. And then so I was there like that morning. I decided to change and to not go back to my old ways. And then you know, like, in my mind, I was thinking that my brother was gonna also, like, stay there, but I guess he wasn't ready yet. So then I stayed, and then he left. I remember my director was trying to convince him, hey bro, stay bro, you know, come on bro, you know, like, your brother's already here, you brought him here, you know, and then for you just to walk away, you know. But, you know, like in that time, you know, he wasn't ready. So then he left, and then I stayed, you know. And then, like, it was crazy because, like, that week, you know, as I was there, you know, like, it was just different for me, you know, like, you know, because I already knew God, you know, like, I was already saved, I was already attending a different ministry. And then so I was there for the whole week, you know, and just trying to get adjusted and used to the schedule. And then, man, you know, like, it was hard, you know, just coming in humbly, you know, like, just seeing, like, different people, you know, like, different testimonies, you know. And then during that month, you know, like, it was very hard, you know, like, in the home. And then, like, every day, like, I was just so broken. And then I remember, like, my prayers were for my brother to come back and leave the streets. And like I remember like every services, like I was just right there in the altars just crying for my brother and for my family, you know. But and then like I remember a month later, we were coming back from a fundraiser, and then as we were making our way back, I was in the van, and then like every day I remember like every morning when I would leave out to a fundraiser, like I remember like my mind was so focused on my brother, you know, just trying to look for him, you know, like if I see him like on his bike, because the recovery home was in my city, in Bellflower, and that's where like we grew up at. That's where my brother was homeless for years. So like I remember like every day that we would leave like the parking lot, like my mindset was like to find him, and then if I see him, to try to find a way, you know, to reach him. And then that one day we were coming back from a job site, and then as we're making our way down, like maybe like a block away from the home, I see my brother, and he was right there standing. He was like holding his eye, and then that's when I knew, I was, man, like this guy's going through right now, like this guy just got jumped or something. So then I told one of the brothers that was driving, hey bro, that's my brother, bro, can you turn back? And then surely, like we turn back, we pull up, and yeah, I remember he had a black eye, he was bleeding from his head, and I was like, what the heck, bro, you know? And then I remember all of us got off the van, and then we got him, and then I remember like we tricked him, because we told him, all right, bro, who was the one that jumped you? He was like, it's some guy. And then I remember like we asked him, I said, all right, bro, where's he at? Let's go get him. And then he was well, so he went that way. And then we're all right, bro, well, get in the van, bro. So then so like that was like the trick for him to like get him into the home. So then we got him in the van, thinking that we were gonna go look for him, and then but then like that's when just God just took full control, and then we drove straight to the home, you know, thinking that he was gonna go, that all of us were gonna go look for him, but instead we drove straight to the home, and then it was right there, you know, I remember the director came outside. I was like, hey, it's Arnold, you know? He's, yeah, you know what, bro, hey. He was, hey, and then that's when the director was just like pouring into him, you know what, bro, like don't go back, bro, like if you go back, bro, you're gonna die, you know? And then eventually, you know, my brother stayed too, you know? And then like it was just a confirmation from God, you know, like he answered my prayers, you know, like during like that whole month. And then we both stayed in the home, and we both went through the whole process in the home. We both graduated the home, you know, right here in Southeast LA. We went through the whole process. We graduated, and then after that, God, after my year, you know, my 12 months, I remember like I was already getting close to like to graduating, you know, and then like my plans was for me to go back to working, go back to, you know, making money and stuff like that. But, you know, God had other plans for me, you know, and it was right there where my pastor, you know, he asked me a question, and he said, all right, Marcos, you know, how long have you already been here in the home? I was, pastor, I'm already like at 13 months. He said, okay, you know what, bro, so like what's your plans? I was like, look, pastor, so like my plans is for me to go back to working, this and that, you know, go back to making money and be a pillar. He's like, okay, look, bro, honestly, you know, you have to go to the training center, you know, like I was, I don't know, pastor, you know, like let me think about it, you know. He's like, okay, brother, you know, so I'm gonna give you a week, think about it, pray on it, and give me an answer. And then I was like, man, like I don't know, you know. And then after that, you know, like I started to pray about it, you know. And then you know, I remember I fasted for like 2 weeks, and then like I was praying about it. And then eventually, you know, like God spoke to me. He said, look, Marcos, if you go back to working right now, if you go back to like making money again, you're just gonna fall back in that same trap, in that same vomit, you know. And then that's when God just gave me that burden to go to the urban training center. And then after that I graduated, and then after that we started to make and then after that we saved up money, to go. It wasn't easy, and then it was all through fundraisers, to sponsors, and then eventually, I went to the urban training center right there in the West Coast. And then my brother he eventually also went to the urban training center right there in Chicago. And and then it was just there in the West Coast where God started to like develop in my character, and God started to work in my leadership. And man, like it was right there in the West Coast where I really where like it was different from the home, because like in the home you learn a foundation with God, like you learn your prayer life, but it was there in the urban training center where I was able to develop a relationship with God and to really know my calling and my purpose. And then man, like, and then I went there for 6 months, and it was one of like the best and most beautiful journeys in my life. It was where I really got a hold of God. Like I really saw the burden, for people, on the vision of Victory Outreach. And like honestly, like it was one of the best journeys in my life. And I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for where my life was before. Growing up with no father. Growing up with a lot of pain, like a lot of like emotions in my life, a lot of trauma, but for God to put me through all that and to go to the recovery home, and to get cleaned up and sober, but not only that, but to go to the urban training center, like it's just been a privilege, like God has been able to like develop a lot of areas in my life, a lot of things that were not dealt in the home, but in the urban training center, God was able to deal with all that pain, with all my pride, with emotions, with a lot of things in my life, and then God was able just to like develop it, build it, and grow it, and then now, like like I'm so grateful, so grateful like that I'm alive, that I'm here, that I was able to get accepted, because growing up, like I was always rejected. Like my mindset was like an orphan mentality, like I was always so emotional. But now I know my purpose in God. I know why I'm here, and like like I just have a really big burden for people, for souls, and like I believe that I was called to be an evangelist and to go out to the streets and preach my testimony and to let people know what God did in my life. And if He did it for me and my brother, most definitely He will be able to do it for more people, for more families that are broken, for more people that that they find themselves in a place of darkness, of bondage. Like there is hope. And like I'm just like so grateful for this amazing ministry, for the ministry of Victory Outreach, for our founders, for answering the calling, and for Pastor Manuel and Sister Lisa, for this beautiful church, that they also answer the calling and they sacrifice their lives to open up recovery homes, and to let strangers in their house, honestly, like. And it's just been a journey. It's been beautiful. I'm so grateful for this beautiful vision. And I'm just excited for what God has planned. In the future. And I know that this is only like the beginning. And like I just want to encourage like the whole world. Like that there is hope, there is peace, there is joy in Jesus Christ. And just don't give up. Don't give up, like it's just, like life is not gonna get easy, even Jesus, when He died on that cross, it was not easy, like He got slain, He got crucified for us, for our sins, and then like I just want to encourage you guys, that just keep pushing forward, to those churches of the darkness that they're out there, it's never too late to change, it's never too late, and that's and that's pretty much what I have.
final thank yous?
Oh, I just want to thank Pastor Manuel and Sister Lisa, for the for this amazing privilege to be here, in Southeast LA, for giving me this opportunity, this opportunity to be here. I also want to thank my directors, Brother Mark and Sister Brenda, for letting me in their house, for just, I mean, because just for all their hard work, and dedication, to the recovery homes. And I also want to thank like this beautiful team, our media team, the whole congregation, and I'm just so grateful for my family as well, my mother, for never giving up on us, as growing up as a widow, as a young mother, she never gave up on us. She was always there working for us, to have a plate for us. And I'm so grateful for God, for all the miracles in my life, for making the way. And I'm just so grateful for this beautiful ministry of Victory Outreach.